It's your man Jay Graves Report. We in the building. We got David Mays here. David, talk to us about, first of all, how did you meet Renecia, and what's your relationship with her?
Well, I met her while I was in prison. I was in Westville, and what happened was the first service that she ever had, we just heard about it called Planted Seed, and it was kind of like the church services in there. They was watered down, you know what I mean? And you can't water down the word. Ain't no way to water it down. So it was just one day, me and my buddy Reese, we was like, man, let's go to this service. And we went in there, and it was a woman. We knew it was a woman, but she brung power with her. You know what I mean? She didn't just come in there to talk, you know what I mean, try to make you feel good. No, she came in there with some power. That's how I met her.
So now let me. Now you say you were in prison. How long were you in prison, and how long did you participate in her services?
Well, I was in her service. I was for her first service there till I went home. And I was actually in there for 7.5 years. I signed a 40-year plea bargain, but I only did 7.5 years. But I was there from her first service until I went home. Even we used to get mad because some days it was our service night for Planted Seed, and they would find some way to cut the service off. And it was wild. It really was. But, I've been there with her since I met her.
Wow, unbelievable. Now you say that she brought fire and power to it. Talk to me about what she did that was so much more different than everybody else.
What really was different about her was her persona, the way that she came about it. Some preachers will hold back what they got to say. And what really drew me closer to her is because she didn't hold back nothing she had to say. And everything she said, she backed it up with what was in the Word. She didn't say what she thought was right or what she thought the Word said. She said what the Word said. That's what she did. That's the power that she brought. Because see, when you talk about the Word, man, it's an authority in there. And if you standing on shaky ground, then you ain't got the power in you to bring the Word because you on shaky ground. But she came in there on a firm foundation and she just took off. The word that she gave us, I mean, that's just like the first time I heard from her. The very thing that got me was when she said, God didn't bury you, he planted you.
It's power right there, bro. Power. Now when she was coming in on a weekly basis and making that impact, how was her impact felt around the prison? Because obviously you were in there, you telling other folks about her. So did she start getting a larger following of folks coming in wanting to hear the word from her?
Yeah, she did. And see, the thing of it was too, though, you had some brothers, we call them closet Christians in there. They ain't want nobody to know what they was doing. They ain't want nobody to know they was Christian, this, that, and the other. But the way that she brought that power with her was we took what we learned from her and took it back to those other brothers.
Okay.
Then some of those other brothers started coming to the service too. And then it just went from there. Those same brothers that were scared went back to their friends who we didn't know, read their Bible, did this, did that, and the other. They took it to them, and next thing you know, they're in there. It's sort of like it was a generational thing. It started off with the older folks, then it went to some that's a little bit younger than us, then it went to those that was younger than them. And that's the power that she brought because, truth, as the word says, sets you free. But truth will also bring light to your life. And that's what we did. We took what she taught us and we took it back into our dorm and told the other brothers, like, look, man, this is what she said today. And the brothers just like, man, you know what? I'm going to sign up for that service.
So while you sitting inside and you got someone like Dr. Williams coming in, giving you light and power from the word, it gave you a lot of hope while you was in there, I would assume.
Yes. Because you got to think about it. If you sign a 40-year plea bargain, you basically think your life is over.
Yeah.
But it was a different thing with me. My life had actually begun when I signed that plea bargain. It hurt, but it had actually just begun when I signed that plea bargain.
It's unbelievable. So I would assume that knowing that she has this book out, you probably can't wait to read it because you already know what the power is in her that's bringing this book.
Yes, I can't wait. I know it's power in that book. I know it is because it's a few people, man, I've told about this book too. Even though I haven't personally got into it myself, but knowing her, I know page for page, and there's a lesson. A lesson that you can apply to yourself. And I would actually like to buy a box of books because there's a few people I want to pass them out to. I got a few co-workers that probably need to read that too, because if we don't know what's on the inside of us, then how can you be what God made you to be?
That's real talk there. That's real talk. Hey, it's your man Jay Graves Report. We hanging out. Make sure you get this book from the inside out. Who are you? And my man right here just gave it to us. Real word, real insight. What do you have to say to end this interview about this book and about Dr. Williams?
Well, to end the interview, I would actually like to say she planted a seed in me when I first met her. And still to this day, that seed she planted in me is growing. So this book is well worth it. No matter, it ain't about the price that it costs, because money loses value, but this book will never lose its value.
There it is. It's your man Jay Graves Report. Holla at your boy.